I have boldly claimed that this channel is the future of Pew Pew. That should probably mean covering all the weird and wonderful, and not just playing games that are at least 25 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Outl1ned. It is quite possibly the purest shmup ever made. This is a quick playthrough just for impression purposes, but for clarity, I am playing this with no auto-fire whatsoever. My arms did hurt a little bit after this run, but I say this because if you want a high score, you should probably use it. This is styled as a one-dimensional game. You are a line on a line and shoot other lines that come directly at you. You can shoot lines either side of your line, but to do that you have two dedicated buttons, but think of those as lines as well. There is ammo though, which is another line below the line. Of course, using auto-fire depletes this quicker, but there is a button which should as well be treated like a line that you hold to refill. Oh, whilst I was talking, the line has curved. Yes, this line tail has a twist. There are upgrades and debuffs. This is what the debuffs tend to be, visual effects to try and screw you over. Power-ups, like this one here, can be temporary, so I've got increased speed, but there can also be permanent ones which upgrade your power, your ammo, or your health. Alright, health is only permanent if you don't get hit. Okay, world bend again, but it's not as extreme as the last one. I came across this game when searching for the new queue on Steam, and for shoot 'em up games that's really difficult because bullet heaven hasn't really taken off as a genre in Steam yet. And there are some ammo packs, so if I do find myself running low and don't want to hold the button, these are perfect. This game is free, not a demo, just free. Link is in the description. And yeah, it's worth the money and worth the time, but not for very long. This isn't my high score, that's about 20k or so, and the highest score is 138,000. Now bearing in mind this video is 5 minutes long, the gameplay is probably going to get awfully repetitive if you're wanting to get that high as well. From what I can tell, the debuffs don't really vary that much. There aren't new ones that are introduced later down the line, pun not intended. There is some enemy variation, they will get faster as time goes on, but it's a line, and there is no end line. It goes on forever. It's kind of like the library in Vampire Survivors, where instead of books, you get to look at lovely little stars. Speaking of which, I do hope the bitrate is holding out on this. It's a Pew Pew after all, can be quite a challenging thing. And there are also these annoying enemies which are a bit faded out. There's one on the right, so I feel like it can be a little bit unfair when losing a life because of that. It looks like nothing has touched me and I need to rewatch to see what has happened. Some of the filters don't help, but I suppose that's the point. Also, it would be nice to not need auto-fire. And there is an auto-fire power-up, but it only lasts for 15 seconds, then it's back to manual presses. I suppose it would be possible to mitigate this by raising the power through permanent upgrades to such a point where it's a one-shot, but it's hard to know if one has appeared off-screen. It's not like Vampire Survivors in that respect. For a couple of minutes though, yeah, it's a neat little experience. That's probably all that it was meant to be. It's a simple idea, well executed, with a lot of visual flourish that makes it more interesting. Now that I think about it, a 70s debuff which makes it look like it's on its own dedicated machine in black and white would have been rather cool. But you can't complain that much with World Bendia. I haven't even... oh wait, no, I did get my first extra life there. I mean, it was starting to get a little bit worrying, but as you can see, if you haven't noticed already, the health indicator is up top, and yes, it was a health pack, so I've now got 2 HP, whoop whoop. And in a little bit, I should be on the way for an achievement to indicate that I would have killed 1,000 of these little things. Yay. No, turns out I just wasn't paying attention and the achievement already popped up. So I'm going to leave it here though, with just a minute or so of the game with its original music. Again, this is Outl1ned, it's free on Steam, there'll be a link in the description. Neat little title, check it out. Until the next time though, thanks all, and goodbye.